different. He's a different person now. Why would I turn my back on Mark Robinson now? I will not.
I'll see what happens. If he stays in, I'll support him. Just kind of watch and see what happens.
The deadline for Republican nominee for governor Mark Robinson to withdraw his name from North Carolina ballots has come and gone. That was last night, midnight deadline. Robinson denying the allegations made against him in a CNN investigation published on Thursday. Now, that article accused him of making disturbing and sexual comments on an adult website years ago. Robinson is fighting back. The claims aren't true, is what he is saying, and says he's not backing down for his chance to be the governor of North Carolina. Let's bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Roj. And Khalif, first off, does he have a claim of any ways of saying these allegations aren't true?
Well, for you to be able to have a defamation claim, for a libel claim, you have to be able to state that the person knew that the items or the statements that they were making, either written or spoken, were untruthful. And the other portion, they'd had to know it at the time and didn't continue to make it. And so if he brought some type of claim against CNN, the argument would be, listen, we did the research. At the time when we submitted our research, most of the things that we did when we published our story were fact-checked multiple times, not just by their own external investigation, but by using his own information that was placed out there on multiple different sites. And so I think that would be what makes this hard for some type of defamation claim to go forward, at least to be successful. Could he file it? Yes. Likelihood of success? Not likely.
And he's already thrown it out that there was some sort of AI, so they would have to back that up and substantiate that himself.
And that's not enough. I mean, for you to say that would probably be some type of defense, but for you to be able to be successful on the merits and the claim of defamation, the key standard is clear, that you have to have known the person that you're saying defamed you knew that the statement that they were making at the time was untruthful, specifically that they knew it and they disregarded that. You know what? I believe that, you jumped off the building. Well, I clearly saw you standing here with me shaking my hand. Well, I knew at the time that wasn't true. Something like that has to be there. Making a statement of that it's AI doesn't prove that they knew or should know. That would typically be a defense to something that you didn't do, which is what he used yesterday as a pivot from this story.
Those are the legal angles right there. Let's pivot now to the political side of this, as being a political yourself in your prior life. And also, what does this do? Because the bomb's already gone off. How do you try to do the damage control and the crisis management here?
You cannot put this explosion that was yesterday back in the bag. But what I can say, he was already polling low, right? So that was the first thing. Josh Stein and his campaign has been doing an excellent job in terms of distancing itself from him. And you can see in the past few months that the former President Trump has kind of distanced himself from Robinson as well, trying to ensure that whatever negative impacts that Robinson had, even prior to this story, didn't bring down the entire ticket. I point to Tom Tillis's most recent statement today. Yesterday, he said it was a bad day. It was not our best day, but we need to move forward and look at races, and this is the key point, that are winnable races. And he goes on to mention North Carolina General Assembly, goes on to mention the justices, because those are things that I think Republicans are now banking on not losing. And I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion that he will lose this race as governor, but statistically, the polling numbers don't look great, and the support that is dwindling, at least from the higher-ups within the Republican Party, seems to be dwindling. A lot of folks on the ground seem to still be supporting him, but from the people that are making the decisions within the party, it seems like the calls are going on and on. But right now, it will be a fruitless effort to step down, to walk away, because as you mentioned, the deadline passed yesterday.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of people were calling for him to drop out of the race yesterday. That's not happening today. Everyone's kind of rallying around Mark Robinson. Also, the unaffiliated or undecided voters, those are going to be the ones who decide this race come November. Where do you think they fall moving forward?
I think that's the key battle. I mean, and remember, this race was getting national attention before all of this. This was a state that former President Trump and Harris need to win. Whoever wins this state most likely will win the White House. And so it was already in the balance. So you already anticipated some major news coming from some side. In our state, having the numbers like it looks, Democrats being there, and then you have those unaffiliates almost right up there with Democrats outranking Republicans. So because you have more unaffiliates, I think those are the folks that are still going to be undecided, even all the way up into the election. If you haven't made up your mind by now, you're still not going to make up your mind or be shifted by this story. It's going to be on policy. It's going to be on something that touches your day-to-day life, and it's not going to be something about a scandal. I think his core will stay there, but the individuals that are unaffiliated, they're literally just trying to make a decision day by day, and I think it flips. That's why you look at the most recent poll, President Trump is one day, Harris is the other day. It really can depend, but that race right there, I'm not sure in terms of what it will move the needle for unaffiliated based on his conduct. We shall see.
And we shall see. We've got a little more than 6 weeks now until the election on November 5th. All right, Khalif, thanks. For more details on the Robinson allegations, head to our website at qcnews.com.